Hello, this is Yushan, and right now I'm hosting a little mini roundtable at the Media Center here at the 7th China International Import Expo. And today I am joined by Mr. Barakat Meseret, Chief Executive Officer of Promotion Department at the Ministry of Trade and Regional Integration of Ethiopia, and also Mr. Domingo Delfino, Director of milk brand La Patrizia from Venezuela. Welcome, gentlemen, to the panel discussion here with CGTN Radio, where we're going to discuss a bit about what's the highlights of your respective country or respective brand that you're bringing to the 7th CIIE this year, and also what are your expectations and perspectives on the Chinese market in general? So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Barakat. I know that this is the first time for you to be here in person at the expo. So, so far, what impressed you the most?
Okay, thank you. First of all, we have been participating on CIE starting from the first one as a country. That gives us a good knowledge and experience on time to time. And I have been here for the first time on the 7th CIE. The organizers support our pavilion with a good model, as well as they try to represent our major products to be displayed and represented on behalf of our country. If we take like coffee, so we want us to promote our coffee to the rest of the market, especially on the Chinese market, since the Chinese coffee market is currently emerging. So your organization, organizer for CIA, properly display the coffee on our pavilion. That's a wonderful representation for us, and also other exportable items have bestly represented in our pavilion with an artistic value of our country motivation. So very interesting and fascinating thing in the 7th CIA is well organized exhibition, well organized reception, as well as well organized time management and representation of our guests in our pavilion. So that's a very impressive thing in.
Yes, indeed. As a reporter on site, I feel like wherever I go, if I need help, there's going to be help because there's volunteers everywhere, all speaking English, and exhibition management staff that's always around trying to give you the way and everything. So yeah, indeed, the CIE is very well organized. And what about you, Mr. Domingo? I understand that this is the first time for you and also your brand to arrive at this platform. Is that correct?
Yes, this is the first time for me, for my company. And I am Domingo Delfino, and I am the CEO and the director of the Patricia La Búfala. This is a Venezuela brand of milk, buffalo milk derivative. This expo is fantastic. It's big. It's beautiful. I think so that this is the expo more important in the world in this moment because the market of China is the more important in quantity and quality consumer, especially of the food. Market of China's have a consumer buffalo milk, domestic made.
Yeah, indeed. Personally, I've purchased buffalo milk more than one time, and each time I always feel like the buffalo milk tastes almost like it's thicker than normal milk.
Yes, it's more equilibrated and have a aftertaste sweet and a little bit salt, no? And it's finished. It's very finished
Yeah, exactly.
and very healthy also. Venezuela before, no, is oil exported, no, and now for many things, no, and the market of the China is the more important for my viewpoint, no.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of the Chinese market, Mr. Barakat, I know that this is the seventh time for Ethiopia to join the CIIE. What do you think is motivating your country to come back to the CIIE over and over again?
The first thing is that the China economy is increasing time to time, and the demand for getting our product is increasing. On recent years, starting from 2022, 2023, and this year, the China market is emerging market on coffee Previously, tea was Chinese cultural drink, but right now the Chinese market for coffee is highly increasing. And when you think about coffee, Ethiopia is the first country to provide better coffee with different processing type, like with washed and unwashed, as well as specialty and commercial coffee with unique taste and preference. So in order to leverage such market, we are here. So since the Chinese market demand is increasing from time to time, and our productivity is increased, as well as our business relationship with Chinese government and people is increased. As we all understand that we are a member of BRICS. So in order to leverage different market taxes, since recently almost the Chinese government have introduced zero tariff, which means 100% free from tariff on its import. For Ethiopia, it is a lot. I mean that because we should get such comparative advantage to supply to China. So in order to leverage different emerging economical demand in China, we are here from time to time, and we also continue for the next years as well.
Wow, that's a very nice view in the near future as well. And I believe that you mentioned coffee just now. I would assume that there's such a big consumption market for coffee here in China. And over the years, have you noticed any interest, or rather increased interest from the Chinese buyers or investors in your coffee products or any other kind of new products?
Exactly, it is increasing. Previously, before 5 or 10 years, China was not in the list of Ethiopian coffee buyer list, but right now China become one of the top 10 buyer of coffee from Ethiopia. We are almost number one exporter of sesame to China on previous years. Other African countries like Tanzania, Burundi, Uganda, and Nigeria benchmark Ethiopian experience of sesame trade with Chinese too.
Yes, and one more additional question before we move on to Mr. Domingo here. You've mentioned a lot of different sectors, and it seems like the Chinese market have a lot of attention that's on the Ethiopian products as well. What do you see such attention mean to your country?
Yeah, it's a lot to our country because the China's policy, especially working with developing countries, is very interesting. And it's a match for us because we do have multi-sectoral relationship. We take construction sector, the Chinese company have just built major projects in Ethiopia. If you go to industry and manufacturing sector, many Chinese investors are investing in Ethiopia. And also when you come to the merchandise export or goods export issue, China is one of the major buyer of Ethiopian products. As I mentioned earlier, our top 3 or top 4 exportable items are belongs from agricultural product. So coffee is the first one, and flour is second. Third one is pulses, and the fourth one is oil seed. So of these top 4 exportable items, 3 of them are significantly exported to China. That's a lot for us. And also, as we are on the same umbrella of BRICS, and China is giving different privilege, that is a lot for us to increase our export performance. So Chinese market linkage with Ethiopia is a lot for us, and this is highly honorable and recognized by the peoples of Ethiopia and the government as well. So that's why it shows that my representation here in this CIIE is one of the indicator for that.
Yeah, definitely. Because China's policy towards Ethiopia features equality and mutual respect. Because the aim is for mutual benefit and win-win results. And speaking of which, Mr. Domingo, I heard that your company has signed a letter of interest with a Chinese customer just yesterday. It was also witnessed by the Minister of Agriculture from Venezuela.
Yes, this letter of intent is very, very important because it's the first step for having the protocol.
So by signing this letter of interest with this Chinese buyer, it opens such a portal. It opens a portal for you to officially enter the Chinese market.
Yes, I have a supporter of the Venezuela officiality, Venezuela government. But I need also the support of the Chinese government for speed, this exchange of commercial exchange.
And in which way? This is probably a big question for you, but
Yes.
in which way do you see the interest from the Chinese market that's providing such new opportunities to global South countries such as
Yes.
Venezuela? Global
Absolutely,
South countries.
absolutely. In quality and in quantity also, no? But absolutely. We have a quality and we have the possibility to introduce in this market the product have a long shine, long life. Also for showing and create the new market, in Europe, in Africa, in Arabic country, in all the world.
Yeah, there is a policy, enabling policy environment in China market to work with the developing countries, including global South countries like African countries. The Chinese government it tries to manage all the business process with a win-win mentality.
So is that like a economic growth kind of boosting to Ethiopia as well?
Sure. Especially on the infrastructure facility, the Chinese government support on railway engineering, on the building of different huge bridges, as well as even just transferring a culture of managing projects with predefined timeline. Because the Chinese people here, they are in Ethiopia, works in a good work culture, as well as a good delivery time with good quality. So that gives us a good benchmark for our contractor, for our project organizers in Ethiopia. And when we come to the export sector, since the Chinese economy is very giant and the demand for agricultural product is increasing from time to time, and our exporters have just highly aligned with the Chinese market, they try to get more market. Even many of the exporters have just sent their son and daughter for scholarship here in China, just to exploit, to understand the Chinese market and to have a good business relationship with China. So the China is it's just like a blessing for South global countries or for African countries. So I'm proud of it, and thanks for people of China and the government as well.